So we have here a very interesting tree that one of our customers has brought in, Richard.
Yeah.
So Richard, can you tell something about this history of the tree? Because many trees that people develop are literally a lifetime's work. So I'll let you talk about this beech tree.
Well, my father was interested in bonsai, and he never actually grew any. He just told me about them. So when I had the opportunity, I got hold of a beech hedging
Plant.
yeah, about that tall, and thought,
How thin was it? How thick?
oh,
Pencil thick.
Yeah,
Pencil
pencil
thick. And how many years ago was that?
that was 40 years ago.
40 years ago.
Yeah.
So
But-
40 years to get to this size.
And in those days, I never could never really afford to
I know.
look after it.
Well, for
properly,
the first
so-
10 years, I never bought a single bonsai myself.
Yeah.
I just begged people to give me trees from their garden or pick up little seedlings on the roadside. And that was it. That's how you learn. That's the best way to learn. Anyway, there's a splendid tree, I must say. The superstructure and all, it's all natural. It's a natural tree shape. It's neither informal upright nor a broom, but it's just a very natural shape. If you come close and look at the root system, now, there are only some very minor faults, but people would give the right arm for a root like this. And some people like these weird roots. I always have learned to become aware of different people's tastes. Unfortunately, in any pastime or hobby, whether it's keeping dogs, canaries, or bonsai, you get what we call the gatekeepers. And these gatekeepers will tell you, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, because this is not what the establishment likes. You know, we call them gatekeepers. They don't let you do things which they don't like. But what you like is what matters. And this is what I try to teach in my bonsai. There is no right and a wrong way. Usually the people who innovate things are derided when they innovated, but at the end of the day, they have the last laugh because they have been proved right. So I congratulate you. This is a very beautiful, natural looking tree. We will look at it. Now you have difficulty in removing the taproot. You're afraid to do that, but we will do it for you. And I can see it going into a very nice pot, whether it's a rectangular, drum pot, or even oval pot. So the first thing is to get it out of the pot, and we will deal with the roots. The superstructure, I think you've been doing it every year because I can see it's been trimmed.
Yeah.
I would just take a little more off, because if you keep letting it grow, you will lose control. It'll become too big. I could do it for you if you wish. If you don't want to, I won't do it.
No.
So we will look at the tree from every side to see which is the best side. And I can see that the compost is pretty good. So we will now stop for a while while we yank this tree out of the pot. Normally, we use a sickle to get it out of the pot. Now this large plastic pot has a slight lip. It's almost like an incurved pot. So that makes it difficult. But that little tool is only useful for bonsai pots. For a pot this size, it is next to useless. So we will put this aside. What is even more common is an ordinary shovel like that. Since you said you haven't done it for 3 years, it could be fairly pot-bound because it's a large pot. I don't think the roots have gone entirely to the side. It's just that the sheer bulk of the tree makes it difficult to get out. So I'm just prodding around to see. There are some roots there. It is moving slightly. I think we've got drum pots this diameter, haven't we?
And bigger.
I think it's just a question of brute force now, without breaking any twigs or branches. So I will ask.
With a customer.
Yeah. The trouble with large bonsai is that as you get older, they become more
Bigger.
difficult to move.
Right with you on that.
This tree has got several fronts, except that you don't get the ideal situation. I'll explain to you when we've potted it up, because it looks nice from this side, but this branch is in the way. It looks nice this way because the branches are spread, but the neighbor is not so good. So it's not an ideal situation. You know, what is nice from this side don't give you the good configuration of branches. So, as we say, the world is not perfect. I'm just prodding and feeling. I can see that there's some movement. So was it in a much smaller pot before, or has it always been in a large pot?
No, it's always been in a pot of more or less that size. Yeah.
This size?
Yeah. Well, not in its earlier days. It's the pots have gradually got taller as we've got bigger as we've got older.
See what we've done? We've taken soil out from the rim using an ordinary garden spade. And once we release that incurve portion, this plastic pot has got an incurve rim which prevents the root ball coming out easily. And the next thing to do is to pull it out. You wouldn't think you would be doing this for bonsai, isn't it?
More bounce. Wiggle.
I'm sure people are familiar with this sort of thing because it's quite common.
Rotate it a little bit.
Not just pull it horizontally. Don't get into the bench, go that way. There you are. Keep pulling it. Don't break your back. Not upwards. Straight, horizontally. That's it.
Right.
Can you hold the camera? Let me do it. You're there. Hold the camera for me. Like that. Just recording. Not against the bench. Okay.
Turn it a little bit.
We're actually there. We're actually there.
What's the spin it?
No, grab the pot. I've got the tree. No, not upwards. Horizontally. Pull it horizontally. Not straight. My direction. You hold the pot, you hold the pot. It's there, it's 90% out.
It's cool, you need to spin the pot. Spin the pot, it will come out.
There you are.
Oh, look at that, yeah.
Look at that. Okay, pull the pot away. We're there. Ah, hooray! Okay. Look at that. Can you kindly hold the tree in this position while I yank some of the root out? My God! So you put all sorts of brick bats underneath. You don't need all that. Look at that. It's all dead weight. I can hear the tree breathing a sigh of relief.
That's me too.
Okay. Perfect for a drum pot. Okay.
Whoa.
Would you like to tilt it that way while I deal with the roots this side? Tilt it that way?
Yeah.
It's not that pot one, Richard.
No.
We did it 3 years ago, but inside is black, so we need to take some of that out. Just stay there while I bring my big loppers.
Probably quite a few thick roots in there, apart from the taproot.
Yeah, there's some serious roots there.
Yeah.
But by growing it successively in these large pots, you've helped the tree to develop. So you did all the right things at the right time. Yeah, there's some serious roots there, as you say.
Yeah.
Well, this is about a quarter of the original depth now, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah. There's quite a bit of, as I remember it, taproot, really thick stuff there in the middle.
Yeah. One out. I will now get people on YouTube to say you should tease it out with a chopstick. I don't know how many hundreds of chopsticks you would break in that process.
Fence post, maybe.
Honestly, some people. Don't forget, I've done this for the last 60 years.
Yes.
This is just breakfast. Oh, there's some serious roots here. God.
Yeah.
I'm surprised your beech hasn't kept the leaves, because usually beech trees keep the leaves till about April,
Yeah.
and then they shed.
I did remove them
Oh, I
before we
see.
came, just so we had a better view of the branch structure.
Okay. I can see what you mean by the taproot. In fact, the taproot has gone round and round.
Yeah.
Okay, so we look at the bottom and see what's going on. We've got it down to about there. So we've got it out of the pot. We reduced the roots by quite a bit, but this is an ugly root, so with Richard's permission, I'm going to take it off because it's doing nothing. So let's improve the nibari, as we say, and get rid of that. Also, we don't need this one, which is crossing literally diametrically out. That one I'm not too sure. That one, don't think we need that either.
Okay.
Okay, so they're cut off. Maybe it takes more. So they're free. You've got such a lot of root, the tree shouldn't suffer at all. So as we say, at repotting time is a good opportunity to improve the surface roots.
Leave that big knobbly bit and I'll try and cut that piece out.
I think if you nibble away with the loppers, it will come. Is that an old one?
Yeah, it's not one of the
Okay.
box fresh
Once you
ones.
touch soil, you wasted 70 pounds on a saw like that. That's the trouble with using saws. Okay, these are cut off.
Those I'll
Use
be able to get
lopper,
with the
lopper.
lopper, yeah.
Don't-
Yeah.
These two, there are two. It's close as possible. And the other one? Yeah. Back into there. Even more. See those as well. See over there? Lopper. No, up this way, this way, this way. Now we will try it in the pot.
Let me.
Right, the moment of truth, and that's a nice drum mica pot. Who has such a wide choice of pots? Perfect. You see the depth is perfect, huh? Look at it. You couldn't ask for it better.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Huh? All right, very nice. Okay, tie it.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then we fill with soil. Try and get it through the root. I've left in case it's not enough. Just make sure you have enough. So we thread it underneath the roots, through the roots. Okay. Okay, and the rest is filling with soil. I'm now going to give it a very light trim to give it a more conventional type shape. At the moment it's like a ball shape, more topiary than bonsai. So to change it, I'm going to create more of a dome shape, or like a triangular shape, although this is like a broom style tree. I always tell my students or customers that they need to imagine a line like that. Some people are not able to imagine. So an imaginary line don't be afraid to trim, because if you don't trim, it will eventually reach the sky. So you need to keep it in mind. You see how I've changed the shape already? Look at it this way, you can see. Can you get the full tree? So it's that dome shape you want, not a round ball shape. And that dome shape you should see from every side. Okay, I will look at it from the outside as well. So that is the effect. I have hardly taken much off, but I think I have made it look slightly different. Can you notice that? So it's this sort of effect you want, rather than a more like that, more like that. So during the growing season, Richard, if you keep an eye on this, all right, just the tips. And it looks nice from virtually every side. But the roots, I know they're not the perfect nibari, but they've got a lot of character. It's gripping the soil and it looks powerful. So there you are. Job done. Let's look at the debris. Look at, this is what we got out of that pot. This amount of soil we got out from that pot. Giving a new lease of life. So I hope you liked it.
Yeah.
And it's now looking more like a bonsai. So come
It
here, Richard,
certainly
and
is.
have a photograph with us.
Yeah.
All right, one hopefully satisfied customer.
Thank you, Peter.
Okay.